Previously on Morning Coffee. It's just not good. It's just not smart to be on height in solos in the current flopper meta. 4 out of the top 5 right now are currently trying to take height. There's no other way to put it. This is a garbage meta. Top 5 being on height, absolute garbage. Because everyone and their grandmother is thinking of taking height with some floppers. Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Speedy Gonzalez, and today I have kind of a special episode, breakdown video, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a play breakdown done by Zayt during AO, where, you know, if you were watching my previous video, I said it's basically impossible to hold height in solos from half-half during moving zones. Zayt making me eat my own words a little bit during match number 2, but then match number 4 he tried it again, and it's more what we kind of expected happened when trying to hold it from half-half. A lot of things have to go right, and it's almost a miracle. The skill level has to be really high for you to actually pull it off. So I think that's enough of an introduction. Let's get into the reason why you clicked the video, and let's get into it. All right, guys, here we are with match number 2, where Zayt is currently trying to hold height from half-half over there on the top right of your screen. I'm just gonna let this play out. First thing you have to notice is that he is currently building out with metal, right? He built out 1 brick, 3 metal. He let the metal fully build. Then he went out and stretched out, I think, another 4 or 5. But the point is, he let about 9 tiles of metal built before actually stepping on that to really try to begin holding height. Kind of the pre-planning phase. And once the zone started to actually move, now you see him running there down the center to get ahead of zone, right? Trying to hold height from half-half, which is something that's extremely difficult. Not really connecting. He's more concerned with pressuring people off of his height. As you can see, he has 0 eliminations. It's taking all of the concentration and focus just to not get dropped, not to get sprayed, not to get beamed, to pressure off Brezzo, who actually won AO. Here on this play, I'm actually going to pause it because I think it's worth actually having a conversation about. So Brezzo there tries to chop out Zayt. He now begins to ramp for height, and all it takes for Zayt to hold his height is literally 10 mats and character positioning, right? So here you can actually see Zayt didn't run on the ramp. Zayt stood back. He made a fake ramp cone. He hung back a little bit, let the other opponent try to ramp up, spent 10 mats coning the guy, right? And now Brezzo, he lost height, GG's, drops down. Zayt beams on the way just to make sure that he isn't an issue. And then, you know, with those 10 mats, that 1 cone, that's all it really took to hold height. And that was the last challenger for a while now. The only thing he has to worry about from now on is getting chopped or getting beamed. And he's just making sure he pressures everyone in the lobby who's looking at him. Very typical stuff on height, but more importantly, what we like to see is people RPGing him, people beaming him. He's riding height for top 5 placement this entire time. 0 elimination still, because it's literally taking all of his focus, his skill, his, you know, attention to just hold it, right? So in the past, we talked about it's extremely difficult in solos to hold height. There, Nyrox actually beamed the shield off. Nyrox ended up going down to a trap in Storm, right? But he was ready to take height with floppers. Zayt here kind of focusing on these 2 dudes up in front, gets dropped down by Epic Well. I'm going to rewind this. Right, so again, because of the amount of attention you have to focus on the entire lobby, he's focusing on these 2 guys. Maybe it's a potential mat refresh, which he desperately needs. He just rode height all the way from half-half. He's depleted. And here Epic Well takes that opportunity to just beam him, first of all. He knows he's whites, and then he chops them. And then Zayt goes down. He rode height. Moving on to match number 4, example number 2. Here we are with Zayt half-half again, trying to hold it using the similar or same strat that he used during match 2. Maybe he's thinking, hey, it worked match number 2. Why wouldn't it work this time? The difference this time is people are actually trying to contest height from half-half. So here we have Sync actually chopping down the pre-built tarp that Zayt had going. Now Zayt has to kind of rush and try to hold height from this adjacent other side of the circle, while he has another guy kind of contesting him, chopping him out, constantly pressuring him with AR beams. And then he has a guy in the back trying to contest. Radius actually gets beamed, I think, from Sync. So Zayt and Sync both getting pressured. Zayt and Radius, sorry, both getting pressured by Sync. And yeah, it's just unstable footing this entire time. It's a big contrast, more of what we expected to see with that game number 2. And again, I've said this before, and I think I'm going to stay with my opinion, that it's basically nearly impossible to hold height in solos from half-half onward. just because of the skill gap that we've kind of developed now. Zayt actually got dropped down. Sync actually got dropped down now. And neither player ended up with height. Again, I'm just going to stay with my opinion that unless the stars align and literally no one looks up or pressures you, or you spend all of your attention holding height against various opponents and getting 0 eliminations because of that, you can definitely ride height for top 5 placement, and it'll help you conserve mats along the way. But I don't think you'll actually win the game. I think for that, you know, more of a mid-ground strategy is probably more appropriate. But I don't know. Different opinions do exist, so I'm curious to know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.